They say twins share everything. From the womb to the world, Carter and Aaliyah were inseparable, born 3 seconds apart. But sometimes all it takes is 1 second to grow apart. Carter and Aaliyah were each other's everything. They shared a twin mattress, their favorite snacks, even the same middle name. Their mother Denise called them Fire and Water, Aaliyah being fire, always charging forward, while Carter stayed cool and steady. They developed their own language, finished each other's sentences, and promised they'd always have each other's backs. Their mother Denise worked 2 jobs. When she got sick, Carter worked extra shifts at Burger King. That's when the first crack formed. One worked. One watched. Both broke. Aaliyah stayed by her side. That's when the first crack formed. We handle things together, Aaliyah said. But Carter was already doing more. And part of her liked it that way. The basement party was too crowded. The air thick with smoke and the heavy bass making conversation nearly impossible. Carter wasn't here to talk. Carter leaned against the wall, checking her watch. Isaiah said, "You look about as thrilled to be here as I am." Carter turned to find a tall, brown-skinned man in a crisp button-up that stood out amid. His smile revealed a small gap between his front teeth. "Just waiting on my sister," Carter shouted over the music. "Let me guess. She's the one dancing with my boy Amir?" He nodded toward the center of the room where Aaliyah was pressed against a guy with locks and diamond studs. "That's her. I'm Isaiah." He extended his hand formally, making Carter laugh. "You always shake hands at parties?" Carter said, "Only with people I want to remember meeting." That's when she met Isaiah, buttoned up, respectful, and completely out of place, just like her. She'd promised Aaliyah 30 minutes, and she'd already given her 45. Aaliyah was falling for a different kind of dream. Amir's world was loud, flashy, filled with smoke and promises. Aaliyah is falling hard for Amir. She felt seen. She felt special. "Streaming is going to change everything," Amir said. While Carter and Isaiah discovered a shared ambition for building something lasting, across town, Aaliyah and Amir's still gave big promises and bigger personality. Through Amir, Aaliyah introduced her to people whose names she'd only seen on streaming credits. She felt her world expanding beyond Eastside for the first time. She meets Chris, a rising R&B star with platinum plaques and millions of followers. Chris is charming, flashy, as well, and always surrounded by stylists, dancers, and influencers. One night he compliments Aaliyah's and invites her to hang with the entourage. Chris, grinning, "Yo Amir, you're shoddy fine." Then one of his background dancer interrupted and thought Rose say to her, "Ooh girl, that makeup looks good, you think? About doing tour glam?" Aaliyah, blushing. "I mean, yeah, always." For Aaliyah, Chris represented proof that Amir was going places. If Chris trusted him, maybe she should too. She started posting more about the lifestyle. Studio sessions, backstage photos, dinner parties with Chris's team. But the truth was, Chris wasn't really Amir's business partner. He was just his boy. Amir was a +1, a hanger-on, hoping to find his big break by proximity. Amir. "Soon as I get the setup right, we're out of here." "Baby, I'm gonna get us out," Amir would whisper, his plans growing more elaborate with each telling. "Just need to make the right connections. Get this streaming thing popping off." Aaliyah believed him, especially when he showed her videos of streamers making thousands in a single session. The fact that he hadn't actually started streaming yet was just a technicality. He needed equipment, a proper setup. These things took investment. Just need a little investment. Aaliyah wanted to believe him. After Aaliyah visited her mom and see that she was completely fine from all of her sickness. Next day, when Aaliyah and Amir visited Carter in her Miami mansion, she saw her sister living a new luxury lifestyle. After that night, Amir made his move. After they went home, "Your sister's man got money. Why not ask?" Things went from strained to fractured the night Amir finally laid out his plan. He and Aaliyah were stretched across her bed in the apartment she still shared with Carter. "Your sister's man is making serious bank with that jewelry hustle, celebrity clients, online store blowing up." "Good for him," Aaliyah said, scrolling through her phone. "Baby, listen. I've been thinking. We need like 10 grand to get this streaming setup legit. Professional level. Your sister loves you. Her man has money." Aaliyah sat up. "You want me to ask Carter for money?" "Amir. Isaiah got money. You think Carter won't slide you 10 bands? That's your twin." "Aaliyah, you don't know her like I do. She'll say no." "Amir, she might say yes. If you remind her who you used to be. Not ask. Invest. Once I'm up and running, we pay them back double. Isaiah doesn't like you, Amir. He thinks you're using me. That's his insecurity. He came from nothing, got a little money. Now he's gatekeeping. Acting like your own sister shouldn't benefit from their success." Aaliyah bit her lip. "I don't know. Don't you want us to make it too? Or you cool with just visiting Carter in her fancy life?" The question hit exactly where Amir knew it would. Aaliyah's deepest fear of being left behind. "Aaliyah, you don't know her like I do. She'll say no." "Amir, she might say yes, if you remind her who you used to be." Nervous but loyal, Aaliyah meets Carter at a cafe. Carter sat across from Aaliyah at the small cafe, watching her twin nervously shred a napkin. They hadn't had sister time alone in months. Aaliyah came to Carter for help. "Just spit it out. Leah, you didn't invite me to breakfast to catch up." Aaliyah looked up, wounded. "Why would you say that?" "Because I know you. Something's up." Aaliyah sighed. "Amir's got this opportunity for streaming, gaming, commentary, interviews with Chris's, connections. Could be big. Okay, we need startup money. Equipment, studio setup." Carter leaned back. "How much?" 10,000. Aaliyah said it quickly, like ripping off a bandage. Carter's laugh was sharp. "You can't be serious." Carter. "You're serious?" Aaliyah. "He's got followers. Connections." Carter. "Connections don't pay bills. Hustle does. You know how I helped Isaiah? With money I saved skipping meals, Leah, and you want me to hand it to someone who's done nothing but spin stories? It's an investment. We'd pay you back." "With what money, Leah? Amir hasn't held a job longer than 3 months since you met him. He's been talking about streaming for a year. That's not fair. He's been building connections." Aaliyah, tearing up. "I thought you'd understand." Carter. "I do. That's why I'm saying no. Not everyone can snag a rich boyfriend." Carter's eyes narrowed. "Is that what Amir told you? That I'm just living off Isaiah?" She leaned forward. "I helped build his business, Aaliyah. I invested every dollar I saved working doubles at Burger King, money I was saving for us, for when you decided you were ready to leave East Side. But you chose Amir and his fantasies. So that's a no?" Aaliyah stood up. "It's a hell no. And if you were thinking straight, you wouldn't be asking, Aaliyah. Remember when we said we'd always look out for each other?" Next day, when Amir showed up drunk to Isaiah's store launch, loud, messy, disrespectful, Isaiah's store opening and causes a scene. Amir shouting, "Must be nice, huh? Flashing all this like you didn't come from the same gutter." Isaiah, "You need to go. Now." Isaiah draws a hard line. Aaliyah and Amir are no longer welcome. Then after security took him out the event and Aaliyah followed. And maybe she had a reason not to. In one night, he confirmed every doubt Isaiah ever had. When Aaliyah got home and told Amir that her sister said, "Hell no," Amir spins his version of the story, painting Carter as the sister who thinks she's better now, the air between them, heavier than it had ever been. What hurt most wasn't the money Aaliyah thought. It was the reminder that Carter no longer trusted her twin. Still, Aaliyah held on, thinking if she could just get that money, they could prove everyone wrong. Back at home, Carter's torn. Isaiah, meanwhile, was livid. "They're users, Carter. I've seen it 1,000 times. Give them money, they'll be back for more." "That's my sister," Carter protested. But the words sounded hollow even to her. In the week that followed, both sisters faced hard truths. Carter, curled on Isaiah's designer couch, realizing she had indeed chosen comfort over loyalty in small, incremental ways. Isaiah, watching the woman he loved withdraw into herself, understanding that his own childhood poverty had made him ruthless about protecting what he'd built, perhaps too ruthless. The twins who once couldn't imagine life apart had become strangers. But blood ties are not so easily severed. Aaliyah showed up at Isaiah's mansion unannounced, buzzing repeatedly Ring camera, until Carter's security came out open the pearly golden-plated gates. "You can't just show up here, Leah." Carter glanced nervously at the security desk. "So I need an appointment to see my own sister now? After what Amir pulled at the store opening? Yeah, maybe you do." "That's not on me. And anyway, I left him." Carter froze. "What?" "He pawned Mom's jewelry. The gold locket with her picture." Aaliyah's voice cracked. "Said he'd get it back after his first big streaming payday. Like I haven't heard that before." "Leah," Carter softened, reaching for her sister. "Don't. I don't need your pity. I need a place to crash until my next check. You know it's complicated with Isaiah? Right, your man doesn't want your blood around. Got it." Aaliyah turned to leave. "Wait, just wait." Carter pulled out her phone. "You can stay here for a few days, and we'll figure something out." "Always solving problems with money now, huh?" "What do you want from me, Aaliyah? You push me away, then get mad when I'm gone. You talk down about my relationship, then ask us for money. You show up here knowing how Isaiah feels, putting me in an impossible position." "Position?" Aaliyah's laugh was bitter. "The position is simple. I'm your twin. Your blood. We came into this world together, but you chose him. And you chose Amir. Over and over, even when he was dragging you down. What was I supposed to do? Drown with you?" The words hung between them. Too honest, too raw to take back. But dreams cost money. Eventually, even Chris started pulling back from Amir. Later that night at the apartment, when Amir noticed Aaliyah was gone, sad but not worried, he thought she went out to get some food, so he called Chris. Chris answered, and Chris, low-key. "Yo, Amir. I can't keep putting you on the list, bro. Management is asking questions. You said you were going to get your own thing going." Amir, defensive. "I am. Just need that last piece of equipment, setup, real support." Chris, "Look, you my bro, but I'm not your launch pad. You gotta stand on your own, understand?" Chris's words cut deep. Amir didn't say anything to Aaliyah, but she noticed. She kept posting like everything was cool, but the truth was, the glow-up was fading. She packed up her bags and left her man Amir, thinking he would noticing later on because he was in the shower. Next day he blew up Aaliyah's phone, but she wasn't having it. The calls from Amir slowed up, and he wasn't begging in the voicemails anymore. Aaliyah knows she has to her life together. Slowly, but she will be all right. Aaliyah sleeps in Carter's guest room for 3 nights. They don't talk much at first, but slowly, the silence softens. One morning, Aaliyah emerges with job applications in hand and an idea for her beauty brand. By the end of the 3rd day, Carter helps her secure a small but luxurious apartment in a rising part of town, fully furnished, near public transit, with space for a home studio. On the 3rd day of her staying in her sister's house, she planned on moving into a new apartment she had set her eyes on. Sunlight pours in through large windows. Aaliyah walks into the empty apartment, holding a box labeled beauty supplies. She sets it down on a white marble counter, opens it, and begins placing brushes and palettes on a sleek vanity. She pauses in front of the mirror. Aaliyah, quietly, to herself. This time, we do it differently. Carter walks in holding a bag of takeout. Carter, figured you haven't eaten. Aaliyah, thanks. I'm still getting used to this. Carter, you will. It's not just a place, it's a promise. They sit cross-legged on the floor eating noodles, surrounded by half-unpacked boxes and possibilities. Carter, consider it a reset, not a rescue. Aaliyah, it feels like grace. The Eastside Community Center was packed for the entrepreneurship showcase. Carter sat nervously in the back, watching her sister on stage. Eastside Beats isn't just a beauty brand, Aaliyah was saying to the crowd. It's about creating opportunities right here in our neighborhood. Every product purchased funds our mentorship program for young women interested in the beauty industry. Pride swelled in Carter's chest. 6 months since their blow-up, and Aaliyah had transformed, channeling her creativity into building something real. Using her makeup skills and connections from the beauty supply store to launch a line of products specifically for women of color. After the presentation, Carter waited as Aaliyah worked the room, shaking hands, exchanging cards. When the crowd thinned, their eyes met across the space. You came? Aaliyah approached cautiously. Wouldn't miss it. You were amazing up there. An awkward silence stretched between them. How's Isaiah? Aaliyah finally asked. Good. Busy. He's opening a second store next month. Tell him congratulations. You could tell him yourself. He's outside, waiting in the car. He, wanted to give us space, but he'd like to see you. Aaliyah's eyes widened. For real? He admires what you're building. Said you remind him of himself a few years ago. A small smile played at Aaliyah's lips. What about Amir? Any word? Carter tensed. No. Should there be? He's been blowing up my phone. And will you? Aaliyah shook her head slowly. I don't think so. Some patterns you just gotta break, you know? Carter nodded, tears threatening. I missed you, Leah. Missed you too, Care Bear. The childhood nickname cracked something open between them. I'm sorry I wasn't there when you needed me. I'm sorry I expected you to save me instead of saving myself. They moved toward each other hesitantly, then embraced. 2 seconds of resistance, before muscle memory took over, the twins who once shared a womb finding their way back to each other. Outside, Isaiah watched through the window, a small smile on his face as he saw the sisters talking animatedly, gesturing, laughing through. Tears. Blood ties, he was learning, weren't just about shared DNA. They were about choosing to love someone even when it's hard, especially then. You really want to do this? Isaiah had asked Carter months earlier when she proposed the joint venture. After everything? She's my sister, Carter said simply. And she's proven her the grand opening of twin ambitions was more than a business. It was a beginning, a beauty bar, a jewelry store, a second chance. They hug for the first time in months, not to erase the past, but to acknowledge they've survived it. The doors swing open and Chris walks in, low-key but impossible to miss in designer shades and a crisp white tee. Chris, to Aaliyah. This is the spot, huh? Damn, you really did it. Aaliyah, smiling. No entourage today? Chris. Nah, had to see it for myself. Plus, I need something for the tour. My backup singer keeps stealing my gloss. Carter, playfully. We got a loyalty program. They all laugh. For the first time in a long time, Aaliyah doesn't feel like a side character in someone else's story. Carter. That's love. Real love. Not the kind that needs to be chased. Aaliyah handles clients with bold makeup and big dreams. One of those clients is Giovanni, an Italian-Haitian entrepreneur who made his fortune designing educational toys and tech for kids. He walks in looking for a gift set for his goddaughter, but stays longer than planned. Giovanni, smiling. My company's toys help children dream big. Looks like your brand does too. They talk for hours. He's calm, attentive, with a quiet confidence that draws Aaliyah in. Over time, their connection deepens. He invites her to consult on a creative campaign for his next product launch, and eventually, their business collaboration turns into romantic chemistry. Carter watches it unfold with guarded hope. Carter. He seems solid, real. Aaliyah. He makes me feel like I don't have to prove anything. Just be. With bold makeup and big dreams, Carter manages accounts, balancing spreadsheets and sisterhood. Across town, Amir scrolls through their photos, his streaming finally gaining traction, but alone. Twin souls, separated by circumstance and choice, reunited by something stronger than the forces that drove them apart. Not just blood, but the recognition that true love, romantic or familial, means wanting the best for someone, even when their path diverges from yours. Alone. He wasn't the villain. Just the lesson. Carter and Aaliyah were back. Not the same girls from Eastside Gardens, but women who survived it. A year passed and Aaliyah and Giovanni were engaged and Carter was married and had a baby on the way 5 months to be extinct. He's outside, Carter says, nodding to Aaliyah. He wants to see you. Aaliyah has grown. Amir's been engaged to a new woman too, but I think I'm done. Why is he here? Amir leaning on his car with his fancy and inside the car's back sun seat. Amir walked towards the shop and stated, I'm not here. No drama. I'm here to give you once was. You're now I'm successful entrepreneur. I thought I give this special lockets back to you. With a little side smirk, Aaliyah was happy and was excited to let his soon-to-be wife and his kid come into the shop, waving them in and give Amir a big hug. They were born seconds apart, torn by choices, rebuilt by grace, and this time they rise together. Blood made them sisters. Choices made them strangers. But growth? Growth brought them home. Subscribe for more stories. So if you stayed this long, hit the like button, and if